Shalom. Kal Halam La Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai Bahashem Haracha'a Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone that taught us this truth and sincerity. They steered us well and they rule well. Salutations to the hopeful elect. May the blessing of election be upon your house. This is the brother Zion Amawan coming at you with another lesson to feed the lambs through the Holy Spirit. Haracha'a Kodash. Lord willing, this lesson is edifying. All right. In this lesson, we're going to get into Europe to replace passport stamps with fingerprint and face scans this month. Okay. Europe's new entry and exit system will begin rolling out on October 12th. Okay. Their prime minister, I forgot his name. Y'all brothers know it. I forgot it. But their prime minister said they're going to do mandatory digital IDs for those that work at the end of their parliament. And the end of their parliament is July 2029. Now, they didn't say on July 2029. They said by July 2029. And as you can see, they're rolling it out pretty fast. Now, Europe, all right, there's like 29 countries, all right, that is going to be involved in this entry-exit system, all right, that has biometric capabilities, bio going into alive, living, So these biometric capabilities is made to track you, all right? They're going to use the whole immigration thing, quote unquote, as a catalyst or a narrative, so to speak, to roll it out. But in actuality, it's all to surveil you and it's all to track your payments and everything of that nature. Going into that word grapho, all right, in the book of Revelation, the 13th chapter, the 16th verse, all right, that's the third root word of that word mark, because you have the word mark, okay, and that word mark in the Greek is charigma, and that word is transliterated into charax, and that's translated into grapho, and we're going to get into it. So we got Europe to replace passport stamps with fingerprint and face scans this month. Europe's new entry and exit system will begin rolling out on October 12th. Travelers heading to Europe will soon face a major change at border crossings. Beginning October 12th, the European Union will start rolling out this new entry and exit system called EES, replacing traditional quote-unquote passport stamps with fingerprint and face scans. So you know that little passport book and all that? You ain't gonna need that no more. All of that is gonna be on the C-hip, because they're gonna use your smartphone and they're gonna have it on your smartphone. You may have to hit a kiosk or something like that and do your shit. Kind of like if a person donating blood or doing something like that, they'll stand in front of a kiosk, or like at Kmart or something like that, there's a kiosk. They'll go stand by it and they do their little shit, do a little tap screen, you know what I'm saying? And then they have a camera right there. It may have you stand in front of it, may have you turn your head left, turn your head right. Kind of like you getting a verification for DoorDash or something. They had a camera right there where you got to turn your head to get all the profiles of your face. They may have it like that, or who knows, you just stand in front of it. Look up China, man. China, Lord's will, I'll do another lesson on the social credit system and how, they are surveilled over there, because it's going to be the same thing over here, man. Okay, everyone being surveilled like a big brother, so to speak. Everywhere you turn, there's a fucking camera looking at your ass. Whatever, I'm talking about monitoring everything you do wrong. But it says replacing traditional passport stamps with fingerprint and face scans. The program will launch to a progressive start. You hear that? Progressive start. Let's look up that word progressive real fast for the one time. Just for the one time. Progressive. Progressive is an adjective, a 16th century word, which means characterized by advancement, going forward, moving forward. You see? See, these elites ain't moving backwards, man. Their goal is to have a digital society. All right? That's that one world government, you know, where there's one currency, one government, one leader, one religion, one everything, one language, just like the Tower of Babel, man, where they wanted to be one people. That was a new world order then, and the Lord ended that. So how you think the Lord gonna end this new world order? With a big bang, so to speak, if you know what I mean. You know, that's gonna be ICBM missiles and controlled fire from the chariots with the second coming of Yahushua. Okay? So they're gonna make a progressive advancement in this whole efforts to see-hip everyone, because in the you know, Europe over there in the UK and all of that, all right, they call it the NFC chip. Over here is the RFID, you know. Anyway, and it means towards advancement or improvement, comes to meaning characterized by striving for change and innovation, you know. And, you know, and that's why they got different type of capabilities and things of that nature to make, you know, the C-hip more convenient, accessible, things of that nature. Okay. Making it, you know, convenient for you, man. Because they tell you that it's going to be free, that you don't have to pay for it, you know. But this is nothing but a lying wonder, man, with those brain chips. You know, people think it's a miracle because this quadriplegic can't do nothing normal until he got the C-hip. Now he can do all this stuff with his mind. People thinking it's a miracle, but really it's a lying wonder, man. And the scriptures go into that. It says using one's efforts towards advancement or improvement. You hear that? So they're going to have a progressive start to this chip being rolled out. Now it says travelers heading to Europe will soon face a major change at border crossings. Beginning October 12th, the European Union will start rolling out its new entry and exit systems, replacing traditional passport stamps with fingerprint and face scans. The program will launch a progressive start at a select airports and land borders before gradually expanding across the continent. Full implementation is set for April 10th, 2026. You see? So they're rolling it out, man. Okay, so we at the end. Okay, this is the time of the MOTB, man. Okay? Because they already said that they was going to have, you know what I'm saying, your digital ID for all the ones that got to work and stuff like that. Like you can't have a digital ID without working and things of that nature. Okay, so that's going to roll out to your phone. And you know what I'm saying? It's going to be on your phone. And it's going to be on your phone for a short amount of time until they roll that out shortly after, once everybody get used to it. I'm talking about the moment they're trained enough, okay, and they're acclimated with it, and it don't take long. Man, I give it 5 months, if that. Probably 2 months, 3 months. Once people understand that this is what they have to do, they'll up the ante and just say that you got to get to see it, you know what I'm saying, at that point. You know, because you already trained. You already know what's going on. You ain't got no bite back. You ain't got no resistance or nothing. So they just gonna roll out the C-hip because you gonna take it anyway. You know, that's what they have in their mind. That shit, man, you gonna take it anyway, shit. Because they gonna show their horns, man, in that day. And it's gonna be very totalitarian. All right, very tyrannical. Okay, they're gonna present it to you, you know, and they're gonna have laws and regulations and things of that nature backing what they're doing. Now it says right here, the new system will apply to 29 European countries and will be required for all non-EU nationals entering for a short stay for up to 90 days within a 180-day period. Okay, so if you want to go over there for a certain amount of time, let's say you over there for a vacation or something like that, and they over there for 90 days, then you got to do it. 180 days, you got to do it. You know what I'm saying? Point blank, period. You know, but all of this is gonna trickle its way back west. You know, because over here they got the real ID, and now they're gonna translate it into a digital ID over here. You just wait. Officials say the EES offers several benefits. It will modernize border checks by digitally recording entries and exits, making the process faster and more efficient. It also aims to reduce wait times through self-service kiosks and potential mobile app options. You see, convenience and gradualism. Yeah, man, all you gotta do is this. Convenience, gradualism, while improving security by preventing overstays, tracking irregular migration, and helping authorities combat serious crimes and All right, I ain't about to say that word. You see it. You see that word. I ain't about to say it. But they're gonna so-called track that. For first-time travelers after EES launch, passport control officers will collect personal data by scanning fingerprints and or taking a facial photo. Returning visitors will only need verification, which should speed up processing. While the transition may mean longer waits at the beginning, EU officials emphasize that the EES is designed to streamline travel in the long run while increasing security across the Schengen area. And these are the countries that is in the EU, all right, that is gonna be the catalyst of this thing first. It's Austria, Belgium, Bulgaria, Croatia, Czechia, Denmark, Estonia, Finland, France, Germany, Greece, Hungary, Iceland, Italy, Latvia, Liechtenstein, Lithuania, Luxembourg, Malta, Netherlands, Norway, Poland, Portugal, Romania, Slovakia, Slovenia, Spain, Sweden, Switzerland. So these, basically the whole EU, basically. They gonna do it first. And then it's gonna trickle its way. I mean, technically they ain't the one doing it first. Really is China. They the ones that really done it first. Really, honestly done it first. But cause they already doing the social credit system, and Ben did it. They like 20 years in, man. Really. They like 20, 25 years into that shit, man. Doing the social credit system and social credit scores and all. They been there, done did that. But it's working its way west. And you see how it's hitting the UK. You know what I'm saying? And we got brothers out there too. So we gonna be getting some real time updates, so to speak. But it's 13 minutes in. I ain't brought no precept out. Let me go and bring out a precept. And we already know what this precept is. We already know. You already know where I'm going. Revelation 13:16, man, because this is literally what it's gonna boil down to. Revelation 13:16, man. This is the end all be all, because all roads leads to the mark of the beast, which the RFID microchip in the US and the NFC chip over there in the UK area. But it says Revelation 13:16, and he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. Now, you know, causeth is going into that word constitute by law. Okay, so you're gonna have a lot of laws set in place, okay, to back or to, support, all right, the decision of these elites by C-hipping everybody. You know, that's why they're trying to do totally away with the so-called Constitution, which the Constitution wasn't written for you Jakes. I don't know why Jakes be talking about I got a right. No, you ain't got no fucking right. You have a privilege. You got a privilege to not be in chains right now. Because if it was left up to Esau, That's what he'd do. That's why our Lord had to lighten up the yoke. Otherwise, we won't even be able to teach. We won't even be out here teaching if the Lord didn't lighten up the yoke. You know what I'm saying? Loosen up the yoke, you know? We would have still been in damn chattel slavery, man. We won't even be out prophesying, you know? So Yahweh Shema Shai is the one that lightened up the yoke to have us bring out this word, man. You know? But there's going to be laws that's going to be set in place, okay, that is going to back the efforts of Esau Edom, you know, to where everybody got to get it. You know, from the celebrities all the way down to Creflo Dollar and them, all the way down to Floyd Mayweather and them, all the way down to your first grade teacher, all the way down to your grandmammy and them, grandpappy and them, all the way down to your ass and your kids. And some of y'all got grandkids. Everybody got to get it. Kenya already, now, they already don't need no birth certificate. They go digital. Kenya doing that right now. You know, so we at the end, man. All right. Matter of fact, let me hold that. Habakkuk 2 and 3 just came up. I got Habakkuk 2 and 3. For the vision is yet for an appointed time. You hear that? Appointed time. All right. That time has a certain day. It has a certain hour, a minute, a second, a millisecond. You know, it's a certain time that all hell gonna break loose. It's a certain time that the MOTB is gonna be implemented. It's a certain time. We don't know what that time is. We don't know. But that's why we are measuring out the times diligently within itself, to where we can understand what time we living in and kind of pinpoint where, even though we don't know, you know. But we supposed to what? Watch and pray, you know, for real, man. But at the end it shall speak. Right, the crazy man was right. Y'all gonna know who Yahweh Shema Shai was dealing with from the get-go. And a lot of people are gonna regret not listening, you know, because the famine of the word finna hit real soon. I can smell it. I can smell the famine of the word. We ain't about to be teaching forever. Brothers finna retire. And then we all gotta go our damn separate ways, man. What? Come on, man. You gotta stop playing, man. Straight up. Brothers might be by themselves during this time, man. I mean, like, you know what I'm saying? I believe that Yahweh Shema Shai gonna be with us, and he gonna turn us up and turn our spirit up. But they're like, we not gonna be teaching forever. You know, we're gonna retire soon. You know what I'm saying? And Yahweh Shema Shai is gonna make a lot of people regret not listening. For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. You hear that? Though it tarry, the word tarry is going into prolong. Because you got a lot of Israelites and a lot of people that say, man, they've been doing that for years, man. They've been saying that shit for years, man. Man, that shit y'all talking about ain't nothing. But you got to keep in mind that, look at the, Jonah that prophesied against Nineveh. Nineveh didn't get destroyed when Jonah said it was going to get destroyed. Nineveh ended up being destroyed, though. You see what I'm saying? Just because, so we say something is going to happen doesn't mean it's going to happen tomorrow or next week or something like that. Though it tarry, wait for it. Right, man. Though it tarry, man, but wait. Because we at the end. Because it will surely come and it will not and it will not tarry. You see? So these prophecies are not being delayed. They are actually on time, honestly. So let's go back to Revelation 13:16, and we'll call it. Revelation 13:16, it says, and he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell. You hear that? You ain't gonna be able to buy. You ain't gonna be able to have a business. You won't be able to have a job because, you know, people would get this this precept misconstrued, and they'd be like, well, it's going for business owners. Like, no, it's going for people that work everyday jobs, because when you go to these jobs, you are in fact selling yourself. You are selling your labor to this company for a certain price. So you won't even be able to have a job without this thing. Okay. And then in that one, you know, it's a lesson I did not too long ago, that digital IDs will only be issued out to people that work. Like, you can't work without a digital ID. You understand? And that's going to trickle its way right over here to West, man. It's a save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. Now, in this entry exit system that is in, you know what I'm saying, the UK and in the European Union, all right, it is going to be transliterated into the RFID microchip over here and the NFC chip over there. Now, the word mark, all right, in the Greek is Strong's G5480 charigma, which means a stamp and imprinted mark of the mark stamped on the forehead or the right hand as a badge of the followers of the Antichrist. A mark branded upon horses, Strong's definitions, as a badge of servitude. You see, so you're going to show who you serve. Do you serve these elites, or do you serve Yahweh Shema Shai? Because these elites have a godlike complex. They actually think themselves to be on the same level as the Most High. That's why they feel as if they can control you. That's why they feel as if they can do the things that they can to you, and you can't do anything about it, because they are the so-called pharaohs or gods of this world, so to speak. And that position was given to them, all right, from Yahweh Shema Shai. Now, let's go to the root word of that, which is Charax, which is Strong's G5482, Charax, which means a pale or stake palisade, pales between which earth, stones, and trees or timbers are heaped together and packed together. All right, is a through the idea of scratching a stake. Okay, a palisade or rampart, military mound for circumvallation in a siege trench. Now, you know what I'm saying, this is going into, you know what I'm saying, the needle that they're going to use, the apparatus that's going to be used to puncture the skin, because it's going to be sharpened at a point. You understand? It's going to be sharpened to a point, like the root word from harasso, to sharpen to a point. You hear that? So that's going into the needle that's going to be used to, you know what I'm saying, break the skin barrier. All right. And it's just not going to be up under your skin. It's going to be in the muscle of your, you know, like the meaty part of your palm. You know, it's going to be in the meat part. It ain't going to be like on the outside part. You know what I'm saying? Like it's on the edge of the skin, and you can, you know, do a small incision and get it out. You damn near gonna need a surgery to get that motherfucker out, man. That's why you need to make a conscious decision. You gonna take it or not? Because if you take it, you got fire and brimstone waiting on your ass. You know? If you don't take it, you either gonna be mortared. You know, you may have to get your head cut off. I may have to get my head cut off. You know, but being mortared is different than being destroyed. It's two completely different things. You know? You don't want to be, you don't want to be destroyed. That is not noble. But a lot of people, it may seem like it's the end, or dang man, like they messed him up. But in actuality, his spirit could have left way before that guillotine blade went down. He was already with the Lord. You know what I'm saying? See, the Lord would make it, you know what I'm saying? He would make it go easy with you in the day of your death, man. He'll take it easy on you, man. You know? You might fuck around and see Yahweh Shai the whole time. You know what I'm saying? The whole time, man. He may be standing behind you or something. You know what I'm saying? He's gonna comfort us in that day, man. You know? Yahweh Shema Shai ain't gonna leave us out here starving and hungry and begging for bread. For real. But here go the point. And we gonna close out. Grapho. Strong's G1124 grapho, which means to write with reference to the form of the letters, to delineate or form letters on a tablet, parchment paper, or other material, to write with reference to the contents of the writing, to express in written characters, to commit to writing things not to be forgotten. You hear that? To write down, record. And what is that? That is all of your information. That is all of your information, all your passport information. Do you have warrants or not? You know, all of your financial history, your payment history, your medical history, your school history. You know what I'm saying? Your digital footprint. You name it about yourself. Your passwords and everything of that. It'll be a whole file. That's going to be on that little C-hip to where all they got to do is scan you one time, or like some facial recognition can hit you, and they already got your whole file on who you are and what you do, what you be on. Are you a pervert or not? Are you a good citizen or not? Are you whatever? Everything going to be on there. All right. So this is coming to America. All right. Like I said in Revelation 14 and 9 and 10, you're going to have fire and brimstone. And we'll close out Revelation 14 and 10. I'll read verse 9 first. And the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast and his image, and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand. You hear that? It didn't specify which hand. Okay, it can be in your armpit. At the end of the day, you got it. It could be in your kneecap, your big toe. I don't give a damn. If you got the C-hip, you got the C-hip, man. Okay? The same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of Yahweh Shema Shai, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation. So that's righteous anger Yahweh Shema Shai gonna have towards you, man. All right? And he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels, and in the presence of the Lamb Yahweh Shai. So you gonna have a missile with your name on it, man. All right. If you take this C-hip, you also got cancer waiting on you too. You know, you're gonna have boils and all that type of things, man. So Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. I want to give infinite honors, praises, and glory to Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone that taught us this truth and sincerity. They steered us well and they rule well. Salutations to the hopeful elect. May the blessing of election be upon your house. We on the next one. Abaratazai. Shalom.